Well, speaking of people who believe rumors on social media, so Trump is leading in the polls, right? And he's going to smoke the others. So tonight's debate's just going to be the sound of one hand clapping. Right? It's just going to be a Republican circle jerk. But I saw this clip and I thought it'd be interesting. This is the damage report. And I think this is Francesca Fiorentini. And this is a Trump supporter at a Trump rally. And she said something I thought was pretty amazing. Because they asked her why she supports Trump. So here this, come on, baby. Here we go. So here this woman is. We're going to watch her real quick.
What is Trump, under his policies, how did it benefit your life? Are you work? Are you retired? I mean,
no, I'm disabled. I have a broken plate in my back. And it really bummed me because during COVID, I was supposed to get my third surgery and have it fixed. And when the doctor, a very big specialist, went to fix it, he said, "Where's your Medicaid?" I said, "What do you mean, where's my Medicaid?" "Well, they took my Medicaid." So I'm coming up here hoping I can get the surgery done.
Well, it's interesting, right?
Okay, so before Francesca jumps into this, so she's going there to support Trump, to vote for Trump, because she wants to get, because they took her Medicaid. When did they take it? During COVID, during 2020? 2021-ish?
And who was the president
Who was
then?
the president in 2020?
Wait, that must have been what?
No, that was Obama. It was Obama and fucking no, it was Donald Trump. And I just want to go over this real quick for everybody. So we can all get on the same page. This is just a quick thing. I'm not going to go crazy here. But this is just a quick article from the Center on Budget Policy. So this is the CBPP, sorry. And this is just Medicaid basics, right? So started in 65. Medicaid in 2018 covered 97 million low-income Americans. Okay? I want you to factor in, there's 330-something million Americans, so almost 1 out of 3. Right? So this is an important program. Okay? These people wouldn't have health care otherwise. And of those people, it served 32 million children, 28 million adults, 6 million seniors, 9 million people with disabilities, blah, blah, blah. So these are the people it served versus, and 97 is the total that they cover. Children are 2/5, right? So that 28 or that 32 million is a big number, right? So 40% is children. So about 40 million children are covered. All right. So it goes into how they do the enrollment versus spending. It's mostly children enrolled, but most of the spending goes to adults, low-income adults. And then, older people, blind, disabled people, because children don't get sick or life-threatening illnesses as often. But I want to go through down to here. So this, can you see this chart okay?
Yeah.
So these yellow states are all Republican states, did not expand Medicaid. Right? So they're doing the absolute minimum. The striped ones are about to implement it, Montana and Oklahoma. All the blue states, most of which are Democrat, did expand it. They took the extra money, but they had to go through certain restrictions. Now, the thing to understand about that is this. So Medicaid, the government itself issues the money, right? And then it issues the money to each state based on the population, expected recipients, things like that, right? The state gets the money, but it has to use it in accordance with what the government says, right? With the federal government. The state government has to do that. You can't use our money in way just in however you want. You have to use it specifically these ways. Well, what happened to her is they changed the system and she got kicked off it because she's in one of those yellow states. And we're going to go back to Francesca, who's going to explain who and how the system was changed. So we'll have Francesca explain it here real quick.
Oh, where is my Medicaid? I want to get my surgery done, and she's hoping that she can get it. That's a pretty concrete wish. Sadly, a wish that will not be granted by Donald Trump, even though on the campaign trail back in 2015, you guys remember, this is what endeared him to a lot of people in the first place. He says, I was the first and only potential GOP candidate to state there will be no cuts to Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. Huckabee copied me. But that, of course, was a complete lie, because you're a Republican, bro, and you have to get on board with cutting any kind of service that helps people. So again, in 2020, his budget proposal aimed to spend $1.5 trillion less on Medicaid instead of allocating $1.2 trillion in a block grant program to states, $25 billion less on Social Security, $845 billion less on Medicare. And the intention was to cut Medicaid and Social Security. That's according to Vox. And this, again, was back in 2020. Trump administration unveils a major shift in Medicaid, which allows states to cap a portion of spending for the safety net program, a change likely to diminish the number of people receiving health benefits from it.
So what happened is if you live in one of those Republican states, they are now allowed to cap the amount of money and cut people off. And they did. Because I know that was happened here in Oregon. There was some brief discussion from the Republicans here. And since this is a predominantly Democratic state, right? Or I mean, it's a democratically dominated House and Senate here. The Democrats basically said, no, we're just going to leave it as it is. Right?
Right.
We spent all this money setting up this Medicaid program called Oregon Health Share. We're not freaking changing it. Right? It's working. Right? But in states like Tennessee, they cut hundreds of thousands of people. And she was probably one of those people. That woman voting for Trump.